Do you ever feel like the world is too big and your dreams are impossibly far away? What if I told you about a boy who started with nothing but a curious mind and an unrelenting desire to learn? He wasn't born a genius, a billionaire, or a prodigy. Yet through passion, determination, and a love for discovery, he became one of the most influential and powerful figures in history. That boy was Bill Gates. The name Bill Gates is now synonymous with success and innovation, but his journey is far more than a tale of wealth. It's a story of dreams, hard work, and turning impossible ideas into groundbreaking realities. It's about perseverance, creativity, and never giving up, even when the odds are stacked against you. Today, we'll embark on Bill Gates' extraordinary journey. By the time we're done, you'll not only know about his early life, struggles, and triumphs but also feel inspired to chase your own dreams. And as we dive into his story, remember this: Bill Gates believed in learning something new every day. Perhaps his story will ignite the same fire in you. Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955, in Seattle, Washington. His full name, William Henry Gates III, reflected a legacy passed down from his father and grandfather. He was the third in the line, but little did anyone know this boy would one day leave a mark so deep on the world that his name would become a symbol of progress and innovation. Gates' family lived a comfortable, middle-class life. His father, William H. Gates Sr., was a disciplined lawyer who believed in the values of hard work and education. His mother, Mary Maxwell Gates, was an intelligent and compassionate teacher who later served on corporate boards. Together, they created a supportive environment where curiosity and learning were deeply encouraged. Even as a baby, Bill's inquisitive nature stood out. His parents joked that he could spend hours staring at a single object, trying to figure out how it worked. This relentless curiosity would later shape his destiny. From an early age, Gates displayed signs of brilliance. By the time he was 7, he had developed an insatiable appetite for books. He devoured everything he could find on science, history, and even law. His favorite spot was the family's small library, where he could sit for hours immersed in his discoveries. But his sharp mind came with challenges. Gates often found school lessons too easy, which led to boredom and restlessness. Teachers complained that he was distracted and didn't follow rules. When he was 9, one frustrated teacher asked, "Why do you always look bored in class?" Gates, with characteristic confidence, replied, "Because I've already read the book." Realizing that Bill needed more stimulation, his parents enrolled him at Lakeside School, a prestigious institution known for nurturing bright students. This decision would change his life forever. It was at Lakeside School that Bill Gates encountered a fascination that would shape his future: computers. In the late 1960s, computers were not personal devices. They were massive machines that filled entire rooms, owned only by large companies or universities. Yet, Lakeside had access to one, and it was here that Gates touched a computer for the first time. For him, it was love at first sight. The keyboard felt like a portal to endless possibilities. Gates became so engrossed in programming that he often skipped other classes to spend hours in the computer room. Initially, his teachers were annoyed, but they soon realized his extraordinary talent. One math teacher even told him, "Bill, you might just change the world someday." At just 13, Gates created his first computer program, a simple tic-tac-toe game that allowed users to play against the computer. It was a modest achievement, but it gave him a sense of pride and showed him what could be accomplished through programming. During his time at Lakeside, Gates met Paul Allen, a senior student who shared his passion for technology. Despite their differences, Gates was energetic and outspoken, While Allen was quiet and introspective, they bonded over their shared love for computers. One day, during one of their many conversations, Allen said, "Bill, one day there will be a computer on every desk and in every home." At the time, this seemed like a fantasy, as computers were expensive and reserved for large institutions. But Gates believed in the dream, and together, they began imagining how to make it a reality. By the time Gates was 15, he wasn't just learning, he was already building. Alongside Paul Allen, he founded a small company called Trafo Data. The duo developed a program to analyze traffic patterns for cities, earning $20,000 from the project. For teenagers in the 1970s, this was an extraordinary sum. This experience taught Gates an important lesson. Success wasn't just about having ideas, it was about turning those ideas into action. It was here that he began to understand the power of innovation combined with hard work. While Gates was deeply passionate about learning and programming, he wasn't all work and no play. At Lakeside, he had a playful side. He enjoyed sitting with girls during classes, not to flirt, but because he believed they were more disciplined and focused, qualities he admired. Gates also had a fiercely competitive streak. He loved solving problems and often bet with friends to see who could find the fastest solutions. Losing was never an option for him, and he would go to great lengths to win. Despite his passion for programming, Gates' parents were sometimes concerned about his obsession. His mother once remarked, "Bill, you can't spend your whole life in front of a computer." Little did she know, her son's fixation with technology would revolutionize the world. Bill Gates' story is more than a tale of talent. It's a testament to the power of curiosity, determination, and the courage to dream big. From a boy who loved books to a teenager who saw magic in computers, Gates' journey shows us that success doesn't come from extraordinary beginnings. It comes from passion, hard work, and the belief that no dream is too big. As we continue to explore his life, remember, greatness starts with a curious mind and an unwavering desire to learn. So, ask yourself, what's your dream, and what's stopping you from chasing it? Even as a teenager, Gates exhibited an unshakable resolve and a knack for leadership. He wasn't content with merely mastering programming, he dreamed of creating something monumental. Alongside his best friend, Paul Allen, the duo often stayed up late at their school, Lakeside, huddled over grand ideas for the future. They didn't have all the answers, but they shared one powerful thing, a vision. They wanted to make computers accessible to everyone. This wasn't just a fantasy. For Gates, it was the beginning of a revolution. In 1973, an 18-year-old Gates enrolled at Harvard University. For his parents, this was a dream come true. They envisioned their son following in his father's footsteps to become a successful lawyer. But Gates had other plans. While other students buried themselves in legal textbooks and medical journals, Gates spent most of his time in the university's computer lab. He skipped classes to dive deeper into programming, often puzzling over how to make computers faster and more efficient. One day, a professor questioned him, "Why don't you focus more on your studies instead of computers?" Gates, ever confident, replied, "Because this is the future. Computers will change everything, and I want to be ready." His passion for computers wasn't just a hobby, it was his compass, guiding him toward a destiny he could already see, even if others couldn't. In 1974, while Gates was still at Harvard, the tech world saw a seismic shift. A company called MITS introduced the Altair 8800, the first ever personal computer. It was revolutionary, a computer small and affordable enough for individuals, not just large corporations. When Gates and Allen learned about the Altair, they immediately recognized the opportunity. Late one night, Alan called Gates, his voice electric with excitement. "Bill, this is it. We need to act fast before someone else does." Gates agreed. Together, they decided to create a software program to make the Altair even more powerful. But there was one problem. They didn't own an Altair. They had to design their program using nothing but their knowledge and imagination. It was an enormous risk, but Gates thrived on challenges. In 1975, at the age of 20, Gates made a life-altering choice. He dropped out of Harvard to start a company with Alan. His parents were shocked. His mother pleaded, "Bill, what are you doing? Harvard is your future." But Gates stood firm. "Mom," he said, "this is my future. Computers are my passion, and I can't let this opportunity slip away." It wasn't an easy decision. Leaving one of the world's most prestigious universities to chase a risky dream was a gamble that few would dare to take. But for Gates, it wasn't a gamble, it was a calling. That same year, Gates and Alan founded Microsoft, short for Microcomputer Software. Their mission was clear: to create software that would power personal computers and make them accessible to everyone. The early days were grueling. They had no office, no funding, and no guarantees. Just two young men fueled by ambition. Gates worked tirelessly, writing code late into the night, while Alan focused on building partnerships and spreading the word about their fledgling company. Their first big breakthrough came when they developed software for the Altair 8800. The program was a success, and soon, Microsoft was on the radar of other tech companies. As Microsoft began to grow, Gates realized he couldn't do it all alone. He needed a team of brilliant minds who shared his passion for innovation. He started hiring the best programmers and engineers, assembling a team that would drive Microsoft to new heights. But Gates wasn't just a leader, he was a relentless perfectionist. He demanded excellence from everyone around him and set an example by working harder than anyone else. It wasn't uncommon to find him in the office at 3 a.m., meticulously reviewing every line of code. His mantra was simple: if you want to achieve greatness, you must give your best effort every single day. In 1980, Microsoft got its first major break. IBM, the largest tech company of the time, was building a personal computer and needed an operating system, the software that acts as the brain of a computer. IBM approached Microsoft for help. Gates didn't have an operating system ready, but instead of turning them down, he made a bold promise: Microsoft would deliver what IBM needed. True to his resourceful nature, Gates quickly acquired an existing operating system called QDOS, improved it, and rebranded it as MS-DOS. Microsoft sold the software to IBM, and it became an instant success. Every IBM computer now came equipped with Microsoft's software. This deal wasn't just a win, it was a game changer, catapulting Microsoft from a small startup to a dominant force in the tech industry. The IBM partnership marked the beginning of Microsoft's meteoric rise. Gates wasn't content to rest on his laurels. He continued pushing boundaries, developing new software that would revolutionize the way people interacted with computers. Under Gates' leadership, Microsoft introduced groundbreaking products like Windows, which made computers more user-friendly and accessible to millions of people around the world. Gates' vision of putting a computer on every desk and in every home was no longer a dream, it was becoming a reality. Bill Gates was more than a programmer, he was a leader with an unrelenting drive to innovate and inspire. His ability to motivate his team and push them to excel set him apart. Gates wasn't just about creating software, he was about building a vision, one where technology transformed lives. One of his most famous quotes, "Success is a lousy teacher." It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose, reflects his belief in the need to stay humble and continuously learn. He often told his team, "Never stop improving. There's always a better way to do something." Yet, success didn't come easily for Gates. Microsoft faced fierce competition and relentless challenges. Skeptics doubted his abilities, but Gates never wavered. He thrived on adversity, viewing every obstacle as an opportunity to grow. By his mid-20s, Microsoft was rapidly expanding, but Gates' ambitions went far beyond success in software. He envisioned a future where every person had access to affordable technology. In 1985, Microsoft launched Windows, a groundbreaking operating system that forever changed the computing landscape. Before Windows, computers were complex machines understood only by experts. Windows simplified this, allowing everyday users to interact with computers effortlessly. It became an instant success, marking a turning point for Microsoft. The company's rapid ascent brought Gates face to face with fierce competitors, particularly Apple and its co-founder Steve Jobs. Gates and Jobs were rivals, yet they shared a mutual respect. Jobs once remarked, "Bill is unimaginative, but he's brilliant at running a company," while Gates acknowledged Jobs' genius for design. Despite their differences, both were united by a shared goal: to revolutionize the world through technology. In 1987, at just 31 years old, Gates became the youngest self-made billionaire. But his newfound wealth didn't lead to complacency. Instead, he worked harder than ever, believing that success came with great responsibility. Gates famously said, "If you are born poor, it's not your fault. But if you die poor, it's your fault," emphasizing his belief in hard work and self-determination. Around this time, Gates met Melinda French, an intelligent and driven woman working at Microsoft. They shared a passion for using their success to make the world a better place. The couple married in 1994 in a simple ceremony in Hawaii and went on to have 3 children. Despite their immense wealth, Gates and Melinda raised their children with values of humility and hard work, choosing not to spoil them with luxury. Leading a company as large as Microsoft came with its share of challenges. In the late 1990s, Microsoft was embroiled in a legal battle with the U.S. government over allegations of monopolistic practices. It was a stressful time for Gates, but he tackled the situation with resilience, learning from his mistakes and continuing to innovate. By the early 2000s, Gates began to realize that his wealth and influence could make a profound impact beyond the tech world. In 2000, he and Melinda established the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which focused on solving global problems like poverty, disease, and lack of education. Gates said, "Money has no utility to me beyond a certain point. Its utility is in building an organization and getting resources to the poorest in the world." The Gates Foundation became a beacon of hope, addressing issues like malaria, HIV/AIDS, and access to clean water. Gates also turned his attention to climate change, funding renewable energy projects and supporting innovations in nuclear energy. He firmly believed in the power of science and technology to solve humanity's greatest challenges. One of the most memorable stories about Gates is a lesson he shared with a young journalist during an interview. When asked about the secret to his success, Gates handed the journalist a blank check and said, "Write any amount you want." The journalist, thinking it was a joke, refused. Gates smiled and explained, "This is the secret to my success. When I see an opportunity, I grab it without hesitation. Most people hesitate and miss their chance. Success comes to those who act." This anecdote encapsulates Gates' philosophy: seize opportunities, take risks, and never let fear hold you back. In 2006, Gates announced he would step down from his day-to-day role at Microsoft to focus full-time on his foundation. This decision surprised many, but Gates explained, "I've been fortunate to achieve success in technology. Now, I want to spend my time giving back to the world." Despite stepping away from Microsoft, Gates continued to inspire millions through his work. He emphasized the importance of learning, saying, "No matter how busy you are, make time to learn. Learning is the best investment you can make." In 2021, after 27 years of marriage, Gates and Melinda announced their divorce. While the news shocked the world, the two remained committed to their shared mission. They continued to work together through their foundation, demonstrating that personal challenges don't have to hinder one's ability to make a difference. By 2023, Gates had donated over $50 billion to philanthropic causes, inspiring other billionaires to follow his lead through initiatives like the Giving Pledge. Despite criticism and challenges, Gates remained steadfast in his mission to create a better world. His story is not just one of personal success, it's a testament to the power of vision, resilience, and compassion. Gates' legacy reminds us that success is not about how much you achieve for yourself but how much you do for others. As Gates often says, the future is not something we enter, it's something we create. Let's create a future where everyone has a chance to succeed.